Run.
Hello everyone! Welcome back to Movie Hub Recaps. Today we will be explaining the sci-fi movie called Alien Romulus. Spoilers ahead! Watch out and take care! On February 9th, 2142, a spaceship notices a wreckage in the emptiness of space and picks up a large organic object. This object is eventually transported to a research facility where scientists, using lasers, unveil a cocoon where a xenomorph alien lived. The scientists had no idea what they had just uncovered and would not live to tell the tale. 170 days later, in the mining colony of Jackson's star, the star does not shine and many have never even seen the sun before. A poor worker, and our main character, Rain Carradine, has fulfilled her work contract with the Weyland-Yutani Corporation and is finally eligible to leave the planet and head to another planet called Ivaga with her robot-adopted brother Andy. However, due to a worker shortage, the company will still not allow Rain to leave the planet, and instead extends her work contract from the 12,000 hours she already delivered to 24,000. Rain has worked on this depressing planet her whole life, and now they are forcing her to work even more. Rain is really upset by this. Suddenly, Rain gets a call from her ex-boyfriend, Tyler Harrison, and he tells her that something important has come up and he needs her to come. At his residence, Rain meets his squad: Tyler's pregnant sister Kay, his cousin Bjorn, and Bjorn's adoptive sister Navarro. Tyler tells Rain about what he just discovered. They discovered an abandoned space station drifting in orbit above the colony, and he tells her they could use this space station to help them escape this awful planet for good. He plans on scavenging the space station's cryogenic hypersleep chamber fuel so they could make the trip out of the planet, which would take many years. Tyler explains he needs Rain's robot Andy to fulfill this mission, as the robot Andy should have access authorization to open the doors and access the station's computers. Rain is initially reluctant because she is scared that doing this would count as a criminal trespass of Weyland-Yutani property, but eventually she agrees. Tyler's group secretly leave the planet in the mining hauler Corbelan to the wrecked space station, and as they leave the planet, they see an amazing view of space. Rain sees the sun for the very first time. At last she was finally escaping this place. Then, they finally land on the abandoned space station and prepare to explore this abandoned spacecraft. Tyler, Andy, and Bjorn board the station while the others remained on their ship. They begin exploring the station and are able to turn the power back on. It turns out, this spaceship is divided into two sections, Romulus and Remus. The team are then finally able to find the cryogenic chambers and fuel supply. However, they discover the hypersleep chambers don't have enough fuel for the 9-year trip to planet Ivaga. So the team keeps looking throughout the ship. And nearby, while the group looked for another cryo chamber, they see the horror of a big hole in the spaceship and a synthetic robot that had been put offline with only its upper body remaining. The team has no idea it was a xenomorph alien who did all of this. The team are then finally able to locate another room with cryogenic chambers and fuel. And this one is very large, meaning they should have some fuel here. They find the fuel and are happy to find enough cryogenic fuel for the 9-year trip to planet Ivaga. However, as they attempted to remove the fuel from the lab, they trigger a lockdown, and this turned off the cryogenic pods, storing some facehugger aliens that are in the same room as them. The alien creatures are now being defrozen from cryogenic sleep, and this spells trouble. And it turns out the robot Andy does not have clearance to open the locked door. So Navarro and Rain have to come to the rescue. Rain notices a destroyed synthetic in the ship and takes its chip to give it to Andy so he could have clearance to open the door the group is trapped in. She comes to the rescue and through a gap in the laboratory door, delivers it to Tyler so he can install the module into Andy. The chip grants Andy full access to the spaceship. However, this chip will take a few minutes to update, and this chip would also change the robot's parameter and become more defiant towards his owner Rain. Suddenly, the facehuggers come to life and begin creeping in on every one of them. They begin getting attacked, and the group starts to panic. The group try their best to fight off the aliens. And just when it seemed like Bro was cooked, the robot Andy finally starts functioning once again, saving him from the alien. And now he has access to open the door so they can all run away from these creepy aliens. A horde chased after them, and as they enter a new room to close off the door, one of the aliens manages to get in and quickly attaches itself to Navarro. Despite their best efforts, the crew couldn't free her. Desperate for help, they reactivate the synthetic robot to find out if it knows what to do. Rook revealed that the station's personnel had all been killed by the creatures. He showed them the corpse of a xenomorph from the Nostromo wreckage and told them that Navarro couldn't be saved. Tyler refused to give up. They came up with a plan that if they used cryogenic freezing liquid, the alien would detach from Navarro, and once they started freezing that little bugger, it actually worked. He used cryonic liquid to freeze the facehugger's tail, allowing the group to untie it from Navarro's neck. However, Rook warned that Navarro might have been implanted by the facehugger. He explains that the alien facehugger may have impregnated Navarro while it was attached, and that she is going to die 100%. Rook tells Andy that he cannot allow Navarro to go back to the ship, as she would cause the rest of the squad to die. So Andy tries to stop Navarro from re-entering their ship, but Bjorn tases Andy and runs to the ship with Navarro, leaving the rest of the group behind. However, when Navarro was on the ship, as they prepared to leave, Navarro's chest started tingling. She knew something was not right. And all of a sudden, an alien creature erupts from her chest. This chaos led to the Corblom 4 crashing into the Romulus hangar bay, destabilizing the Renaissance, which now had less than an hour before crashing into the rings of Jackson's star.
Minus 47 minutes to impact event.
Where did they crash?
Romulus hangar bay, on the other side of the station.
Okay.
Let's go.
Rain and Tyler try to regroup with the others, however on their way there, their path is quickly blocked by a horde of facehuggers on the other room. However, Andy stays behind for a moment, as the robot Rook tells Andy that after his new chip upgrade, he has new parameters and a new mission. This means Andy's previous mission, which was to keep Rain safe, no longer applies. Andy comes back to his group and tells them some new information about the alien facehuggers, giving them a possible way to escape.
The parasitoids have no eyes. They track heat by sound, but primarily by heat signature. Your body temperature.
Rain figures that they can increase the room's temperature to match their body heat. It would make them invisible. So they make the hallway equal to their body's temperature. However, Andy warns them that fear, stress, and panic may raise their body temperature, and they will be seen. So they proceed calmly and quietly. Slowly they walk through the hall and are not seen by the aliens. But as Rain walked, she comes across a body, scaring the life out of her. Tyler tries to comfort her, so she don't start freaking out and raising her temperature. Meanwhile, Kay, on the other side, sees her friend Navarro dead. She tries to leave the hangar, and as she walked, she sees the skin shed of the alien that had erupted out of Navarro's chest, and spots what seemed like a large cocoon for the alien. Bjorn suddenly appears and shuts her mouth, not wanting to alert the alien inside the cocoon. Bjorn tried to electrocute it, but this only sped up the hatching.
Let's go.
Resulting in his death as Kay escaped. Just as the xenomorph begins breaking free, Kay bolts toward the exit, only to find the door locked. She radios Tyler for help, and, surrounded by the facehuggers, Tyler whispers,
The needle with the red button. There's a key to...
He whispers instructions to guide her to the keys. Just in time too, as the alien xenomorph had finally grown to a full size. After finding them, she manages to unlock the door. Kay, in a panicked retreat, stumbles out of the ship and is knocked unconscious. Meanwhile, Tyler's elevated stress from his conversation alerts the alien facehuggers, prompting Andy to advise them to run.
Run.
You almost closed the door on it.
I calculated the timing perfectly. Let's move.
Moments later, Kay wakes up and realizes the xenomorph is searching for her. She manages to evade it, but watches in horror as it drags the bodies of her friends away. She hurries to the hangar exit, but it won't open, triggering an alarm. Tyler and the others arrive soon after, but Andy, spotting the xenomorph lurking behind Kay, refuses to unlock the door, fearing an attack. The alien was so intelligent that it was in fact watching and waiting for Andy to open the door. Despite Tyler and Rain's pleas, Andy keeps the door locked.
Go! Andy! Andy, please! Run, that's the only way to run!
And the alien xenomorph decides it will take her now. It stabs Kay and takes her somewhere. Devastated, Rain demands to know Andy's prime directive.
Could have opened the
We'd all be dead if I had.
He replies that it has changed to prioritize the company's interests, and that the docking bay doors will only open once his mission from Rook is complete. Andy then leads the group to a lab, where Rook explains that he's been developing a compound, Z01, based on the xenomorph's DNA to enhance human survival. After successfully testing it on rats, he now plans to deliver the compound to the company.
The perfect organism. That's how we should refer to human being. I took its gift for humanity. Symbiotic capableness easily rewrites the host's DNA. A much needed and well overdue upgrade for humanity. Simply cannot wait for evolution anymore.
Do you see it?
You manage yourself.
The group loads up with guns that have the ability to use auto-aim and locks on the targets.
in this general direction, you'll never miss.
However, Andy warns them not to shoot a single shot, as the guns are simply a bluff to scare the alien from rushing them.
You mustn't fire a single one. As if for blood. Below our features a vacuum of space. You shoot that creature, and it's a guaranteed instant decompression, and we all die.
The group then continues forward, hoping to escape now. However, as they leave the scene, we are shown that the test subjects for the compound Rook was testing had turned the subject into a xenomorph, meaning it's still definitely not safe to take.
There's a lift at the end of this corridor. It'll take us directly to our ship.
As the group carefully made their way to their ship, Andy suddenly stops. He turns the light on, and they find out that this route is an entire nesting area for these aliens.
I think we better go back and find another way.
That might be a good idea. Stop. Okay.
The group chooses a different path to avoid the massive nesting area nearby. However, Tyler hears Kay's voice from within the nest and rushes to find her. He pulls her free and notices her bleeding heavily, pleading for help. He persuades Andy to give him a vial of Z01 to inject into Kay. Rain, suspicious of the compound, advises him to place her in a cryopod instead.
I don't trust this.
Andy, will she make it?
If we hurry.
The group quickly try to escape to an elevator, as the aliens knew of their location now. But it was too late.
Watch out!
Tyler had been stabbed, and he met his demise. Andy had also been damaged from the knockback. Tyler comes face to face real close with the alien and sees even more aliens coming for him. Then the alien opens its mouth and starts piecing him up. Meanwhile, Rain takes Kay to the elevator in a panic as the aliens were closing in. Rain manages to get on the elevator with Kay. Rain sees that Andy is still down there. She can't bring herself to leaving him behind, so she stops the elevator. Rain tells Kay to go on without her. The elevator will take her straight to their ship.
And get into a cryopod. An autopilot will fly you back to our colony. What about you? I'll find a way back.
Rain goes back down to save Andy, and while Kay was left alone, she felt that she was in too much pain, so she decides to inject herself with the xenomorph compound. That's cray-cray. Meanwhile, Rain makes it back down, and is able to find Andy without getting seen by the xenomorphs. Rain resets Andy's module. While resetting him, she hears the ship's computer announcing the ship will crash in T-minus 10 minutes.
I'm so sorry.
No.
But a group of xenomorphs soon corners her. She runs, and just when she was about to find a way back to the ship with Kay, she finds out Rook has disabled all doors, telling Kay she can't risk allowing her back to the ship and compromising the mission of delivering the compound safely.
I just can't risk compromising the compound.
Accepting her fate, Rain begins to listen to Andy's jokes
Andy, can you tell me one of your jokes?
Why don't monsters eat clowns?
Because they taste funny.
I read a great book about zero gravity.
I just couldn't put it down.
until one about zero gravity sparks an idea. She disables the gravity generator, knowing that without gravity, the xenomorph's acidic blood will float rather than fall.
Rain, are you sure about this?
Only one way to find out.
This tactic works, allowing her to kill them one by one, and the acid blood that comes out of the alien remains floating in zero gravity. Rain and Andy drift across the floating acid and reach the elevator. Realizing that gravity loss has also disabled the elevator, they start floating upwards. A xenomorph grabs Rain, but she manages to shoot it, losing her grip and floating uncontrollably. And this is really bad because the gravity generator is just about to turn back on for a purge. She reaches out for Andy's hand, but the gravity comes back on. Just as gravity returns, she falls. But before she hits the ground, another xenomorph grabs her, planning to impregnate her just as they did with Navarro. Meanwhile, more alien xenomorphs were on the way. However, the elevator drops on all of them, saving Rain. But there was still one xenomorph that managed to dodge the elevator drop. The alien xenomorph calls for a facehugger alien, so it can come impregnate her. However, Andy comes just in time to save Rain and shoots down the alien.
Get away from her.
Finally, Rain and Andy are able to reach the ship and reunite with Kay once again. Rain changes the ship's control back to automatic, and Rook no longer had control of the ship's destination. And they manage to escape the Romulus ship just in time, which crashes into the rings of the planet, taking Rook and the Xenomorphs with it. Rain places Kay in a cryopod, hoping to stabilize her condition. However, as Rain prepares for cryosleep, Kay's pod deactivates. An alarm sounded, indicating that Kay was in critical condition. Rain quickly opened the chamber. Rain notices Kay's abdomen swelling and her wounds healing, realizing what is happening, and was horrified to see Kay giving birth to an egg. From the egg emerged a strange creature. Rain takes a hold of the xenomorph baby so she can go throw it away, but the acidic cocoon made her drop it. She tries to use a cryo extinguisher on it. However, it was too late, because the acid made it melt the ship and drop down. The acid makes the cargo section compromised and disconnects the autopilot, making the ship steer back into the rings of the planet. Andy wakes up from his recharge from all the chaos. Meanwhile, Rain tries to find out where the alien creature has gone. Andy's searching at the cryopod section where Kay is at. Here he encounters the alien creature, which has already grown to a full adult size in a matter of minutes. The alien slashes at Andy, severely damaging him. Rain hears the screams of Kay and quickly heads back, as the creature goes back over to Kay so it can be breastfed even more. When Rain returns, he finds Andy damaged and almost broken. But Andy tells Rain she needs to go help Kay. But by the time she gets to Kay, the creature had already literally sucked the life out of her. Rain meets with the creature face to face and tries to subdue it with the cryo-freezer extinguisher. But she is lucky to be able to escape for now, and as she's about to freeze to death from the room getting so cold, she puts on an astronaut suit, and she comes up with a plan. Rain heads over to the cargo bed, and the creature was closing in. Rain anchors herself and prepared to detach the cargo bed from the ship to eject the alien, but the alien did not seem to follow after her. However, as she waited to pull the lever, the alien sneaks up behind her, knocking her down. The alien smiled and growled at Rain as it was about to kill her, but just then, Rain spills the acid from the alien birth cocoon, causing a hole in the cargo bed, opening up the vacuum of space, pulling them both in. But Rain, still attached by the tether, tries to climb back. It turns out the alien was still hanging on, as it used its tail to pierce into the ship to hang on, and begins cracking Rain's helmet. However, Rain realizes that her anchor cable is stuck in between the lever, so she pulls onto it, successfully pulling the last lever and ejecting the cargo bed along with the alien into the ring of the planet. Rain celebrates and climbs up, finally able to rest up in her cryogenic chamber and head to the planet Ivaga. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you love movies.